here's the thing. It's been a minute since I've made a good old-fashioned fashion mistakes video. Old-fashioned fashion mistakes, you see what I'm saying. So it was time, right? And I have a theme for this fashion mistakes video, and it's fashion mistakes Anna made in her 20s and her 30s, and probably this morning. It's not a video meant to make anyone feel bad about anything, but maybe this will help you, or maybe this will show you how far you've come. If you also, too, used to make some of these fashion mistakes. Let me start out with one of the biggest mistakes that I made in my 20s for sure, and even into my 30s as well. And it took me years to fix this, and I'm probably not even going to describe it correctly, but maybe you'll understand what I mean. But I used to only buy clothes or only spend money on nice clothes and search out and go shopping for nice, like cute clothes that were to go to a fancy event or going out for the night or Saturday night or on a date or like something going out-ish. I wasn't going out every single night in my 20s. Actually, maybe I was. But I would really put no effort and as small amount of money as I possibly could into my day-to-day clothes, like clothes that I was going to work at my corporate job. It fit the corporate attire, you know, it was cheap, that was what I bought. I didn't feel beautiful in it, I didn't care, it was clothes I wore to work. It never occurred to me to care what I looked like during the day. Obviously what ends up happening, and the fashion mistake here, is that you just end up looking like you just don't care for all of the daylight hours. Now it's kind of the opposite. Now I could probably do with some cute going out clothes, but my casual clothes, I love them, I feel comfortable in them, I like the way they look. I mean, it took me years to get to this place. Another fashion mistake that I have fixed, and I do not do this anymore, and this was definitely well into my 30s when I was making this mistake, but I used to wash my clothes after every single wear. I mean, I would wear it for a few hours that day, nothing really happened, but it would go right into the laundry bag. I just very much felt like if I wore them, I need to wash them. It's just gross not to do anything else. My jeans even, I would wear them, I would wash them. I'd wear them, I would wash them. And so many of my jeans did not last as long as they probably should have because I was just washing them, drying them. I wasn't even turning them inside out. I don't even know if I washed them on cold water. You know, I just was not taking the proper care of my clothes. Now that I'm older and wiser, I know that you don't need to wash your clothes after every single wear. Now, the one exception here, I live in Florida, and June, July, August, it's kind of hot and sticky during those months. But usually I do have to wash everything after every wear. At least like, you know, my tops and things. But if you didn't get dirty, you didn't get stains on it, you weren't like, you know, profusely sweating in your clothes while you were wearing them, there really isn't a reason why you need to wash them every single time. Oh my goodness, I definitely made this big fashion mistake in my 20s, and that was not considering my outer layer as really part of my outfit. And you're like, well, Anna, you live in Florida, what outer layer do you really need? Well, in my 20s, from age 21 to 29, I lived in Boston, and then I lived in New York City. So I needed an outer layer. Anyway, I would have the same like 1 or 2 jackets. One of them was like missing a button, and I would just wear that. Like, oh, nobody cares about my outer layer. Nobody sees my jacket. Yes, they do. When you show up somewhere from out in the cold, that's the very first thing they see. And I did not even consider that, did not even think about it in my 20s. Now, of course, in my 20s too, which is different from now, I had just graduated college. I was making entry-level salary. I was living in, you know, the most expensive places in the country. It's not like I had all this money to spare to go and just, you know, buy a whole bunch of clothes. But that wasn't really the reason why I didn't take the time to, you know, get my jacket fixed and put a button on. It was more so just not seeing the value in it and wanting to spend my money on like a really fancy pair of 4-inch heels instead of all these things that made a lot more sense in my life. Okay, this next one, I'll bet a lot of you guys make this mistake right now. And it's not playing dress up in your clothes enough or at all. If someone were to tell me that I needed to play dress up in my own clothes when in my 20s, I would have really probably laughed in their face. But now, older and wiser Anna realizes that this one little thing, playing dress up in your clothes, is a difference between looking at your closet and having nothing to wear and a closet full of clothes, and having a closet full of clothes and bunches of things to wear. It's not the only thing, and there are a lot of reasons why that could be. I have videos on that. But one of the big reasons is that people don't play around in their clothes enough. You have to do this at a time when you're not about to go somewhere. Now, I do this a lot more now than I never used to do this, so I do this now. And I end up in this flow state where I'm just like having the best time in my clothes. I come up with new outfits. I'm like feeling myself. I'm like, I do look skinny. I've lost 10 pounds. I really haven't. But like the clothes look good on me. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right, because I buy clothes that fit me now. I don't buy clothes that are 3 sizes too small because I wish I was that size, you know? So it's kind of fun. So if you've never done this before, I strongly encourage you, carve out 30, 45 minutes, 15 minutes if you are not sold on this idea, and just start playing around in your clothes and see what outfits you come up with. This is great to do before you go on like a shopping spree. So this kind of goes hand in hand with planning out your outfits, and I know I've talked about that before on my channel, and that is such a game changer. Oh my goodness, planning out your outfit, it just takes away so much stress in your life. And in my 20s, and in my 30s, and sometimes even now in my 40s, I don't plan out my outfits. And when I don't, and I think I have the idea, I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll wear that, And then I go to put it on and it just doesn't look the way I want it to. It doesn't fit right anymore. Or maybe I gained a little weight since the last time I wore it or something. And then I have to scurry around and find something else to wear. And it just never ends up being the thing that I want to wear. So along those same lines, when I know what I want to wear and I've already put the outfit on, I know how it looks, getting dressed is such a breeze and it's actually fun. I can focus on like trying to make my makeup not look like I got hit in the face with a bus, so I can focus on other things instead of stressing out about what I'm going to wear. This next fashion mistake I made a little bit in my 20s, but mainly in my 30s. And I mean, there was about a 5 or 6, 8 year period where I made this mistake every single day. And that was wearing a, okay, decent, kind of cute outfit, but always with some ugly but comfortable shoes. In my 20s, when I lived in Boston and then New York City, and I walked all over the city in high heels and some kind of heel and completely ruined my feet. I even went to a podiatrist at one point and he was like, you need to wear flat shoes, lady. Did I listen? No. In my 30s, when I was in Florida, my feet ruined. I'm like, ooh, give me the comfortable but ugly shoes all day long. I really didn't spend any time at all trying to find comfortable and cute shoes that I could wear. And in my head, I was just like, oh, my outfit's really cute. Like nobody's really gonna see my shoes or care about my shoes. That's not really true. Your shoes are part of your outfit and they can sometimes make or break your outfit. That's what we talk a lot about. Like if you wear dirty shoes with a really cute outfit, it's like, oh, cute, ooh. It just kind of detracts from it. Now I have a few pair of shoes that I think are really cute and they are comfortable, and it took me a long time to find those. And in the end, all the time and trial and error and everything was very worth it to find shoes that I think are really cute and they, complement my outfit and not detract from it, but are also comfortable. Mistake that I always made in my 20s, and I feel like I've already kind of touched on this a little bit, but specifically, I would buy so many clothes that looked great on me if I felt skinny that day or if I wasn't bloated. That would look great if I was wearing 4-inch heels, were very fitted, needed a strapless bra, like clothes that really weren't that comfortable, but they looked really cute and I loved them, but they just weren't that comfortable. So I would usually wear them, for an occasion like going out or something, but I would not wear them often. Even after that first time, I'm like, okay, the newness had been worn off, and I wore it and I was constantly doing this all night or like just hobbling around on these heels, and it made me not really want to wear it again, even though I loved the item. And so I know a lot of us kind of fall into that trap. Again, kind of like the shoe thing, I try to find things now that are cute and comfortable, or if it is something fancier, and I do have to wear like a strapless bra or whatever, maybe it's just the strapless bra, but not also 4-inch heels and a skin tight dress and whatever else it is to make me just like every single part of my body is uncomfortable. Now in my 20s, I was in really great shape. I did boxing, I ran a lot, I was very active, and of course, I didn't appreciate it then. I always felt like, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds or something, but I was in really great shape. Now in my 30s, I got married and then I had kids, And I gained all my weight in my stomach area. And so the fashion mistake that I was making is I was so concerned about anyone being able to tell that I had a belly or had a stomach, that I would wear these really baggy tops. And this was when skinny jeans were still, everybody wore skinny jeans. No one was even talking about straight leg or anything. Now, also in my defense, high rise had not really come around yet. Like, people really weren't wearing high rise at all. It was all mid-rise, or mainly mid-rise. But looking back, and occasionally I would get some kind of there would be a photo of me or a video or something where I was turned to the side, and I'm like, oh God, it made me look so much heavier than I actually was. And so I know a lot of us do that. We're self-conscious about a part of our body, so we want to wear something that's really oversized to try to hide it, but it doesn't really do that. It just kind of almost makes you look bigger. And so what I have learned, and I still, battle with this a lot for certain items, but I just kind of learned to embrace my body and my figure a lot more. Like now, high-waisted is great for me because it kind of, tucks in everything and makes me look a little more curvy as opposed to muffin top. But I'm kind of okay with people knowing that I have a stomach or that my butt is not the most perfect butt. It really doesn't bother me anymore. I feel like I wear clothes usually that fit me and that are flattering on me, but I'm not trying to wear clothes to force my body into looking in some kind of perfect way. But I don't get so self-conscious about thinking people are out there being like, ooh, look, Anna has some weight around her midsection. No one's doing that. Nobody cares. They're all thinking about what they look like and themselves. And now I just focus on my whole outfit and how I feel in it. And, is it comfortable? Do I feel okay in it? Do I like the way I look in the mirror? And if I'm happy with that, then I'm okay. That works. This is a mistake that I fixed a long time ago. I can honestly say I did not do this in my 30s, but I did do it in my 20s. And it was buying an item because it looked good on somebody else. And, I had friends that I loved their style and everything, but they have very different bodies than I did. I mean, we all have a different body. And I wouldn't consider my shape versus their shape versus how that same item would look on me. And a lot of the times it may look great on your friend, but if she doesn't have the same kind of body you have and the same figure and that kind of thing, it's gonna look different. It might not look as good. In my case, it never looked as good. So eventually, years in the making, years down the road, I learned what looks best on my body. And I've mentioned this fashion mistake in probably every fashion mistake video I've ever made, but it's definitely one that I made in my 20s and I just didn't think about. And it's not even really a mistake, but it's just something to think about that I never thought about. And so what it is those dresses that come with the belt, the little fabric belt already attached, or even sometimes a little actual belt already attached. It's just kind of there to give you that idea of the style or to cinch your waist or something. You don't have to stick with that one. You can take the fabric belt off, put on a real leather belt, and it looks so much more elevated. And speaking of that, I also did not know at that time to cut off those little strings that hold the belt on. They're basically there just to hold it there while it's being sold in the store. Same thing with those little, things that come on the inside to help you hang up your item. I have to get rid of those because, having them right up my face when I'm talking to somebody is not cool. So that's another one, stopped doing a long time ago. When I was in my 20s and good part of my 30s, I was a very compulsive shopper, a very compulsive buyer. I would go shopping just for fun. If I was if I was feeling kind of gloomy that day, I would go, shopping to cheer me up. When I was in New York, I loved walking uptown to Bergdorf's and just trying on a whole bunch of things that I never in my right mind could afford. But I just loved shopping, and I would see something and I would be beautiful and I would buy it and it would be amazing, but I would never consider, do I have anywhere to wear that to? Do I have anything that it will go with? Where am I going to be wearing it? It usually was some kind of fancy going out-ish type item. I do still love shopping as a therapy, and it is fun to do, but now I like having a clear vision whether I'm going out shopping for fun or not, I like to have a clear vision of what I do actually need and what I don't need. And you know, if I'm looking for anything, and I like to question myself before I make some big purchase. Not having a go-to outfit or a couple of outfits. I never even heard of this concept or idea in my 20s or even my 30s, really. It was just kind of like somebody asked me, hey, I'm in your neighborhood, you want to grab lunch? I'm like, like, what do I wear? I don't have anything, you know, what should I, oh my gosh, you know, it just was stressing me out. Now I have like, somebody asked me to lunch because I got all kinds of things that I know right in my head I can go and put on and I'll feel good in for a daytime lunch in the neighborhood. I have never been a makeup expert by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely in my 20s, I felt like more was better. If I was going out somewhere and my eye makeup didn't look right, I probably just needed more. I most likely did not need more. I didn't need more eyeliner. I didn't need more mascara. I didn't need more whatever I was trying to do on my face. Now I realize sometimes less actually is more sometimes. On camera, when you're taking photos, is a wonderful time to pile on the makeup. And I pile it on every time I do this and you can't even hardly tell. But in day-to-day life, people wanna see your face. I wanna see your face. I don't wanna just see like a film of like colors and makeup. Like I wanna see you. And I know that that's how a lot of people are. And it just is more personal when you show up as you, not a painted face. Another mistake that I feel like a lot of us still make to this day, and I stopped doing this probably a few years ago, but I used to save a lot of my really nice things for a fancy occasion. A lot of my things that I would have, more so in my 30s, that I would buy that would be really nice, I would just save them for a special occasion. I have a couple pairs of diamond earrings and I'm like, I only want to wear those if we're going to go out somewhere nice and I need to wear diamonds. And I had to get it out of my head, and I still have to kind of remind myself of this, like, no, I can wear diamonds during the day. I don't have to only wear those for an anniversary or something, some special occasion. Diamonds should be worn all the time, I think. I mean, should they? I don't know. I don't want to wear diamonds all the time, but there shouldn't be anything wrong with wearing them. If what am I saving them for? To wear them twice a year? That doesn't really make much sense. So, this was a big fashion mistake that a lot of people make, even now. And I definitely made in my 20s, but I mean, it was just went so far beyond this that I had so many more fashion mistakes to fix before I even got to this point. So the fashion mistake was I did not have any basics in my closet. I mean, not a single one. A lot of my casual clothes were like t-shirts, jean shorts, flip-flops. I just did not place any value on cute casual outfits. So it really wasn't even a concern of mine. So like, I mean, I had other things I needed to fix, but I definitely did not have any basics unless I needed it for work or something like that. But now I realize, as I just did a video on this about basics that like complete my wardrobe, they complete me. You know, they're super important in your wardrobe. And maybe this is just not even a problem that 20-somethings even have. Now it's funny, basics are a huge part of my life. And also my life is very different. In my 20s, I was going out probably 2 or 3 times a week and doing something fun and fancy and whatever, and I didn't have any kids. Now I have kids and I live in a whole different place, so I do need a lot more casual clothes than I did then. I also don't work at a corporate office job like I did then. I mean, my lifestyle is very different now. Those are some of the fashion mistakes that I made in my 20s and in my 30s. I say some because, Lord have mercy, I could probably make a part 2. I just made a lot of mistakes in fashion in my 20s. And I've made fashion mistake videos before. I'll link one up here and down below that I did maybe a year or so ago. Anyway, let me know what you think. I love hearing from you guys, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or a thumbs down if you didn't. Consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.